All right, so in lieu of a Faithful Fables this week, I've gone back to just doing a simple recap of the game here, just before I address the elephant in the room, like what has happened in the past 2 days since the whole Jimmy G incident. So we'll get to that later on, but first I just want to cover the game real quick. This was a very good statement game, despite the high cost of victory. As I mentioned, I'll cover that, where the defense showed up against an offense who was very, very highly rated, and they still are, rightfully so. I think the Dolphins' offense is still a good unit. The Niners' defense just proved why they're the best in the league right now in a lot of ways. Tua, very uncomfortable, rushed passes. His passer rating was pretty low. And outside of the first play being a touchdown, okay, it happened on the first play of the game, not ideal. And then it was a second touchdown on a blown coverage in the fourth quarter. Really not much else happened with the Dolphins. It was a field goal, and that was it for their scoring. Nick Bosa has proven why he should be a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Don't know if he'll win it, but three sacks on the day. He forced a fumble there at the end, which wound up resulting in a touchdown for it. Armstead came back this game. He helped a lot. This game was all around to fully showed why this defense is something special, and this defense can win a game like nothing else. Unfortunately, they did lose their shutout streak in the second half of games with that fourth quarter touchdown by the Dolphins, but they're still outscoring opponents 70-7 in the second half, and over the past 5 games, it's been absolutely insane. Offensively, Brock Purdy had to come in pretty early in this game, and he played pretty well. He had some good vision. He stood hard in the pocket sometimes too when he was about to take some hits. I think it was one pass to Kittle. He stood there, and he knew the hit was coming. You even saw it on TV there, watching the camera there, and he just ripped it off, and Kittle got that. At least I believe it was to Kittle. I know he had a great rip, though, right before he took a hit. One interception for him. It was on a fourth down, though, and it actually resulted in Miami setting back at a worse spot than they would have been if the ball just got batted down. Not going to knock the kid. It's literally his first major time playing in the regular season here, but he went 25 for 37, 210 yards, and 2 touchdowns, along with that one interception. Elsewhere, Elijah Mitchell is out, so therefore Mason had to step in place there. Didn't do too bad, 8 carries and 51 yards. Of course, McCaffrey was still the primary guy in the backfield. McCaffrey combined that put up 146 yards and got a touchdown from Purdy. The offense definitely helped give Purdy as many options as they can. Debo 58 yards. Jennings made a few catches. Ayuk, the guys you would expect to do so. Elsewhere, Kyle Juice picks up a touchdown himself. That was the first one Purdy passed in the game. And Robbie Gould is solid gold still with 4 out of 4 field goals. Going back to that defense there, it was so good. The Dolphins did not convert any of their third downs, was 0 on the third downs there, and only had the ball for 19 and a half minutes roughly of the game. The Niners just dominated possession, and they made that unit look very pedestrian. Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson were basically non-factors. No disrespect to them. They were great guys when they were on the Niners. By all means, they're still great guys wherever they go. Of course, I wish them best of luck in Miami, but of course at that point they're the adversaries. But they were completely non-factors. At this point, it puts the Niners on a 5-game winning streak. Next up, hosting the Tom Brady Buccaneers. And Tom Brady shows why he's Tom Brady. I know that Monday night game against the Saints, he comes back with 5 minutes to go. I turned it off because I had somewhere to be, and I get back from where I was out, and I was expecting, okay, Saints win, makes the division interesting, and no. Okay, Tampa won that game, so you can never count out Tampa when Tom Brady's under center. So, of course, they've got to play strong, play hard, but if the defense keeps playing the way they are and the offense keeps doing enough there and running efficiently, if not, blowing the doors off of another team's defense, they can definitely get the job done there, not just next week, but in the future there. Seattle did win, still stay within a game, behind the 49ers. They beat the Rams. The Rams are irrelevant now at this point for divisional play, as are the Cardinals. Upcoming now, though, if the Niners win this week and the Seahawks lose, I do believe that puts them in a position to where if the Niners beat the Seahawks next Thursday, they clinch the division, having won both games against Seattle. 5-0, they would be 5-0 then in the division, and I think Seattle at best could tie the Niners in terms of record. So that would put them clinching the division if my math is done correctly, and that would be the best case scenario. With Seattle having to lose this week and the Niners, of course, winning. But now to address the big issue, of course, Jimmy G went down, out for the season now. I did read. I was either late Monday night or early here Tuesday morning that his break isn't as bad as they thought it would be. Of course, he's still out for the season. He's not coming back this season, but his recovery should go a bit easier than I guess they thought after a reevaluation. In the meantime, the Niners have signed Josh Johnson off of the Denver Broncos practice squad. And I know there's a rumor right now about Baker Mayfield since Carolina dropped him. That, as of this recording, is still up in the air. I believe he has until 4 p.m. Eastern time as of today, Tuesday here, December 6th, before he clears waivers if someone does not claim him. Elsewhere, the big thing now is, and this is something that just to address from, because I'm getting it I'm seeing it from Niners fans, I'm seeing it from across experts, across the, analysts and pundits across the league here, that now the Niners somehow are in jeopardy of losing the division. The door's open for Seattle. They're not going to do anything now in the playoffs. And, it's all speculation at this, but with what I'm seeing with this team, I don't think the division's in jeopardy at all. I think Seattle is starting to come back down to earth slowly, but they are. They're not playing as high octane as they were before. And this defense is just absolutely stifling. The defense that is being on the field right now is definitely better than when they first played the Seahawks. Although, granted, the Seahawks offense is better than when they first played the Niners back earlier in the season there. Week two, yeah, it was that early in the season. But I still think they can win this division. Purdy showed enough promise right there. Give him a week now with the practices. I think he can actually do this. He's got plenty of weapons. I mean, the weapons that this team have is just, it's a full arsenal. I mean, any quarterback should be able to have their lives be a bit easier with what they have available on this field. And the defense, as long as they keep playing the way they are, they will absolutely stifle an offense to always give the offense a chance here. As for playoffs now, everyone's now saying Niners can't win the Super Bowl, Niners can't do this, Niners can't do that. The Niners were the biggest threat to the Eagles and to the Cowboys, but with Jimmy G out now it's up in the air, and then they look like they're going to be beatable. And to me, I'm not buying until I see it. I know the Niners do not play Dallas or Philadelphia at all this season. That's going to be a playoff matchup. But to me, it's kind of, I wouldn't say hypocrisy, but it's kind of strange because everyone gives Jimmy a lot of flack for, making his mistakes. He has an interception. He does this, which he's been clean though. He's played a very, very clean game for the past 5 weeks. And then everyone's giving him the credit, as rightfully so. And now that he's gone, magically now it's, now Brock Purdy can't do it. Well, if you were giving Jimmy that much heat, and Purdy comes in and Purdy plays a game like that, that's pretty much as good as what Jimmy has been doing. I don't see a reason why they can't continue on this offense here with Purdy and be just fine. Or hypothetically, Baker Mayfield, if he comes in. I think Baker would probably end up being the backup, but who knows? That's going to be entirely moot if he doesn't even come up on the team. This team, I still think, can do it and go all the way. Of course, it's difficult every year. You can have the best team in the league and be a first round to exit. You're one and done, and it's happened multiple times. So I don't look too much into all those insights there. As for Niner fans, it does kind of irk me that I've been seeing things where some people are they wish Jimmy the best for recovery, but then they go, well, I'm glad he's off the field now because his play always hurt us and stuff like that. And to me, it's just, guys, I understand if you're gonna give him criticism, I get it. I gave Jimmy plenty of criticism too when he made very bad plays. And I understand that it's a professional, it's a part of the game. People can give criticism where it's due, but to see the guy hurt after what he's been through, and when Trey Lance on the field, listen, I'm not a big Trey Lance guy. I know he hasn't had a chance to really prove himself getting injured in week 2, but from what I have seen, I wasn't super big on him. But of course, I didn't want to see him get injured, so I was ashamed to see him get injured. Of course, had he not been injured and he was still the quarterback up through this week of the season, of course I would be supporting him all the way. If he's under center, whether it's him, whether it's Lance, whether it's Jimmy, whether it's Purdy, whether it's anyone else, they're the quarterback helming this team, and I'm going to give them the full support. That's what it is as a fan. That's what you have to deal with in a season. The injuries are going to happen, and just as much as the team deals with it, as a fan, you got to accept what happens. But this team can still do it. This defense, as long as I've been alive and can actually remember 49ers teams, because when the Niners had their good teams still in the 90s when Steve Young and Jerry Rice were on the offense there, I was a little too young to remember those teams. But since I've been able to actively remember football, this is probably the best defense I've seen since probably 2012 under Jim Harbaugh. Probably one of those years, 12 or 13. But I think this defense is better than that, though. This defense looks like something you do not see very often. And this defense, I think, is going to be one of the reasons why they can carry themselves to the Super Bowl, if not outright win it. Of course, it's going to be a daunting road, but that's just the way I feel right now. So thanks for watching me here. I know it was a lot this week. I know this video is going to be a bit longer than the rest of my stuff, mostly because of this half right here. But I just wanted to get that all off and what my thoughts were. So of course, forever faithful to this team. I will always support what happens here. This might be the last time the game on Sunday was probably the last time we see Jimmy in a 49ers uniform. That's been my thought this whole entire season, that barring winning the Super Bowl, Jimmy was probably gonna be gone here. And even if he won the Super Bowl, he might have been. Who knows? Of course, that's really out the window now with what happened. But if that is the last time we saw him, I do think it was a great time with him here. I think those injuries he's sustained over the years kind of hurt his progress. 2018, after he got that injury in week 3 against the Chiefs, when he came back, something looked different about him. Injuries piled up a bit more. 2019, of course, was a healthy year, but I don't know, something seemed off compared to those last 5 games of the 2017 season. But still, I will definitely wish Jimmy the best if he's no longer here next year. Of course, I wish him the best recovery. And of course, I want to see this team just keep doing well. There is no reason why this team can't take on anyone in this league. But thank you very much for watching, everyone. And I look forward to doing a Faithful Fables next week, barring anything even crazier in this league. But this season has been something extra. But thank you, everyone, for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.